So before we start, just a couple of house rules. Firstly, do not annotate without my permission, please, because that will disturb the others. That might cover some of the writings. And mute your microphones as well. Most of these rules exist so that we can essentially be as productive as possible without disturbing other members of the class, especially since we have a very large class of around, right now, there are 52 students. So please do not write anything. Please do not annotate without my permission. As much as possible, keep yourselves muted. If you want, I will likely call certain people who volunteer to answer, and you can annotate then when I call your name. And lastly, just listen to your teacher, since we want to be as productive as possible. We can only do that if we are attentive. So I think with that, we can formally start our review for HKIMO. So you guys were sent the mock exam in your emails, right? They were given a Google Docs copy of the mock exam. I think that was a 2018 copy. So there are going to be 5 topics. In each topic, there are 6 questions. First, logical thinking. Topic 2, arithmetic. Topic 3, number theory. Topic 4, geometry. And 5, combinatorics. After number theory, after the 18th question, we will be having a 10-minute break. So that's you can save for like snacks there. But also, if you want to go to the bathroom or something else, you don't have to ask for permission. You can just go. Again, even if you miss 1 or 2 problems, all of this will be recorded. All of this is being recorded. So you can just watch it then. But anyway, also during that break, I am unlikely to take my break as well. I don't take breaks. So if you miss a problem from topic 1, 2, or 3, and you want to use that time to go back to said problem, you can just tell me and we can go back to uh, problems 1 to 18 during the break, or we can use that break time. So I think with all of that out of the way, we can formally start with topic 1, logical thinking. Amy gets 68 marks, 78 marks, and 95 marks in Chinese exam, English, and mathematics, respectively. If she has an average of 84 marks on Chinese, English, mathematics, and science, how many marks does she get in science exam or science alone? So, okay, Henry is the first one to raise his hand. Henry, do you want to answer? Or do you have a question?
Henry ko po ang pangalan ko po, tapos po, ang solution ko po, pero po ako naman po mag-annotate po.
Yes, you can.
So, ang ginawa ko pong solution po dito, ang average niya po, marks niya po sa Chinese exam, English exam, at mathematics exam, respectively, is 84 marks. Tapos po, ginawa ko po, ang 84, binilang ko po ilang pong subjects po siya. Chinese exam, mathematics exam, English exam, at science exam. So, 84 times 4 equals 236. Ang ginawa ko po, tapos po, sa Chinese exam, at mathematics exam, at English exam, plinas ko na lang po ang marks niya po sa Chinese, English, at mathematics exam. $241. So 336 minus 241 equals 5. 95 po. Yung sagot ko po.
Okay, so Henrik says the answer is 95. That's the correct answer. Let's look at a clear solution, okay? By the way, we have a lot of international students. So if you can answer in English, please do. But if you're more comfortable in Tagalog, that's perfectly fine. For the international English, for the international students, don't worry. I will be repeating and explaining everything in English. So But also, in any case, if there is some part you do not understand, please ask me. Please raise your hand. Please raise a question in chat or in any way that you feel more comfortable asking. So again, the correct answer is 95. Very good, Henrik. So the only thing we have to do here is get the total score from the average, which is 84 times 4. And that is going to be your total score, 336. So from 336, we subtract the individual scores of the three already given, which is 68 in Chinese, 78 in English, and 95 in mathematics. So from there, the resultant number is going to be the individual score for science. So again, 84 times 4. For those that are not very good with their with their multiplication yet or with their arithmetic, I will be doing it on the board as well. So you have 84 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 1, 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1, 36. You can subtract them individually, but you can also just do what Henrik did, which was add them together. This is relatively easier. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 5, 21. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 7 is 15, plus 9, that's 241. So 336 minus 241, that gives you 5 and 95. 95 is going to be the individual score of Amy in the science exam. Okay, so in the chat. Okay, so everyone who answered 95, very good. That is the correct answer. I think that this is the relatively easier question. So I think that everybody got it right. Does anybody have any question for this number? Okay, so I think we can continue. So the sum of father's and mother's ages is 79. If the age of father 4 years later is the same as the age of mother 7 years ago, how old is mother now? So this is what we call a two equations, two unknowns, because we have two equations here. We have F for father plus M for mother equals 79. This is our first equation. And then our second equation is, by the way, one of you guys is unmuted. Please mute yourself. Okay. Thank you. So, did the mock test start? You're supposed to answer the mock test by yourselves. Hillary, Jan, when you were given the copy. So you have, and this is the review lang. And this is the review of said exam. It is attached in the email with the link for this Zoom call. So you have, okay, so everyone answered 45. So you have F plus 4 is equal to M minus 7. So this is what we call, again, the two equations, two unknowns. This is your first equation. Your second equation, these are your unknowns, F and M. So that means that F is equal to 79 minus M. 79 minus M, so that's 79 minus M plus 4 is equal to M. Did the mock test start? Hillary, Simon, I don't think that there was a link for the exam itself. The link is there. I don't think there is a link for the exam. The exam is attached as a Google Docs with the email that was sent to you. You guys got an email for this Zoom call, right? Within that link, within that email, there is a Google Docs with an exam, and that is the mock exam, and this is the review. You're supposed to answer the mock exam, and this is just the review lang for that exam. Okay, so we've already the link wasn't sent by email for me. I'll ask my administrator for that, but anyway, just listen instead na lang, since we don't really have much of a choice, since it's already like the scheduled time to start answering. So let's look at a clear solution instead. So you have f plus 4 for father equals m minus 7. So f is equal to m minus 11. F plus m is equal to 79. We substitute the value of f here. So you get m minus 11 plus m is equal to 79. 2m is equal to 90. M is equal to 45. Okay, so I think everybody got the answer for this problem as well. So Mina's grandmother's age this year adds 4, multiply 7, minuses 79, and then divides by 10. The result will be 60 years old. How old is Ming's grandparents this year? So who wants to answer this problem? Annette, do you want to answer?
So you have to multiply 60 by 10 because that's working backwards. Then you add 79, divide by 7, which I erased. And then you minus 4, which is 93. So the answer is 93.
Okay, very good, Annette. So I was writing Annette's solution while she was explaining it. So again, for this problem, all we have to do is work backwards. We already have the resultant, which is 60 years old. So all we have to do is work backwards. If it says divides by 10, we multiply by 10. If it says minuses by 79, we add 79 instead. So 60 times 10 plus 79, that's 679. 600 and multiplies by 7. So instead of multiplying by 7, we divide by 7. 679 divided by 7. 67 divided by 7. This is 9. You get 63. 67 minus 63, you have 4. And then you drop down the 9. You have 49 divided by 7. That is again 7. So the last is adds 4. So 97 minus 4 gives you the final answer of 93. Okay? So I think everybody got it right. Does anybody have any questions for this problem?
No.
Okay. So again, very quickly, all you have to do is work backwards. Let me show you a clearer solution. Teacher, how many questions are there? There are 30 questions. In the final round, there are 5 categories and 6 questions per category. Hi guys, one of you is unmuted. Please mute. Naura, Alaudi, Islami, I think you're unmuted. I'll mute you, okay? So this is a slightly clearer solution for the others that did not get it the first time around. So again, you start with the resultant of 60 years old, and then you work your way backwards. Instead of divided by 10, you go times 10. Instead of minus 79, you plus 79. Oh, that's finally, yeah, it's perfectly fine, you're late. So 679, instead of multiplies by 7, we divide by 7. So you're going to get 97. Instead of plus 4, we do minus 4. That gives you the final answer of 93. Okay, so let's move on to the fourth problem. 1st September is Saturday. In the same year, Hong Kong International Science Olympiad 2018 will be held on 16th of November. How many days is or are remaining to hold the event? So from here, this is a simplified version of the dates question because it's not asking for what day is December 16. It's just asking for how many days. So all we have to do is remember that June, April, November, and September have 30 days. So from 1st of September, that is 29 days, 30 minus 1. October, that's 31. November, that's 30. And from 16th of December, that's 16 days. You add that together, that's 90. these three are 90 plus 16, that's 106 days. Okay, so be very careful, okay? Because some people might see this problem and automatically assume that the question is asking for what day of the week it is, because that is the common form of this question. That is what is normally asked. But specifically for this problem, it is only asking for how many days is or are remaining to hold the event. It's not asking for what day of the week. So for the people that are answering Sunday, that's not correct. The correct answer is just 106 days. For the others that are answering 107, be very careful, okay? Because it's starting at the 1st of September. It's not asking for the whole month of December. That means what we do is 30 minus 1 and not 30 days of September. The first day starts at September 2 to 30. So that's why we only count 29 days for September, and then 31 days for October, 30 days for November, and then 16 days for December. Adding them all together, you have 29 plus 31 plus 30, that's 90. 90 plus 16 is 106 days. So again, the correct answer is 106. If you guys answered Sunday, again, that is the wrong answer because they are asking for how many days is or are remaining to hold the event. It is not asking for what day of the week it is during that day. But lastly, okay, Linam sent a picture. Okay, it's the question lang guys. Sorry. For those that are answering 107, that is also wrong because we're starting at the 1st of September. That means that 1st of September is not included in the counting of days. So instead of 30 days for September, we only count 29 days. So 29 plus 31 plus 30 plus 16 gives you 106 days. Okay? So does anyone have any questions left? I think those are the three common answers. Sunday, 107 and 106. 106 is the correct answer. I think I already explained why Sunday and 107 are wrong. Does anyone have a different question? Faustine Alexandra Koningin, it's not Saturday or Sunday. The question is not asking for what day of the week. It's only asking for how many days between September 1 to December 16. So that's why your other classmates are just answering 106, okay? So let's look at a clearer solution now. So again, from September 1 to 30, it is only 29 days and not 30 days, okay? Because September 1 is already counted. Caleb, do you have a question?
I don't know what to do.
You can just. Oh, this is the review, so you can just listen. I shared. I already shared the. I'm already sharing my screen. The questions in the mock exam are on the top, and then we're just answering them together. Okay. So again, very quickly, because I think a lot of people are confused with this problem. For the people that are answering days like Sunday or Saturday, again, that is the wrong answer because the question is specifically asking for how many days in between and not necessarily what day of the week it is. We're not asking if it's Sunday or Saturday, okay? And the other answer that is common is 107. The reason why people answered 107 is probably because they added 30 days for September, but that is also wrong because we're starting at September 1. September 1 is already done. So the count starts specifically at September 2 to September 30, which gives you 90 days instead. Okay? 29 days, sorry. So 29 days plus 31 in October, 30 in November, 16 in December gives you 106 days, okay? So for the others, please do not fill the chat with unnecessary comments because your classmates might have serious questions and instead I cannot answer them or I cannot see them. So for the others that are asking, yes, this is a review. This is not the this shouldn't be the time for you to answer your mock exam. The mock exam was given to you along with the email link for this Zoom call. There was a Google Drive attached to it. So again, this is supposed to be the review. This is us trying to go over the problems with HKIMO. I think we spent like a lot of time already. So I think let's move on. Guys, please stop like fighting in the chat or something. Please stop flooding the chat with questions that are unrelated or comments that are unrelated to the class because it might distract others. So I think we can continue for now. Okay, let's go on to number 5. Now we add two numbers. One number's tens digit is written from 4 correctly to 8 wrongly, and another number's hundreds digit is written from 6 correctly to 2 wrongly. The sum is 7328. What is the correct sum? So, okay, one of the people answered 7688. One of the okay, so people's answers are 7688. Okay, that's right. Okay, before we start, Caleb, do you have a question muna? What do you mean you're lost?
I don't know what to do. I'm confused.
Again, this is just the review. This is just us trying to learn how to answer these problems. Can you see my screen back, Caleb?
Should we answer it? Should we answer in the HKIMO?
You're already done answering, supposedly. Again, when you got this email, there was an attached Google Docs with the mock exam. And this is the review na. Majority
So,
of your
I was supposed to answer it. I didn't answer it yet.
for the others that didn't answer it, it's perfectly fine. It's not the competition yet. So just try to learn as much as possible from the review. It's perfectly fine, okay? So for Annie now, if you've only answered up to 20, that's perfectly fine. For the others that didn't get it, I'll just ask the administrator later. But most likely, if you got the link for this Zoom call, then that Google Docs paper, that Word file is attached with the same link. So you probably just scrolled over it. Okay, so I think we've already spent a lot of time trying to explain that part. I think we can continue now. So for this problem, now we add two numbers. One number's tens digit is written from 4 correctly to 8, and another number's hundreds digit is written correctly from 6 to 2, from 6 correctly to 2 wrongly. The sum is 7328. So what we write here is 7328. 8 wrongly, from 4 correctly to 8. And this is the tens digit. So that means that this person was supposed to write 40, but instead wrote 80. So 40 minus 80 is minus 40, right? And then written correctly from 6 correctly to 2 wrongly. This person was supposed to write 600, but wrote 200 instead. So 600 minus 200, that's plus 400. So 7328 plus 360, that's 7688. So for the others, very good if you got the correct answer. I think one of your classmates said that they're confused. Are you confused about the question, or you guys are confused with like the format, if this is still a review or the mock exam? Okay, okay, so Lynn is confused whether we add or subtract them, okay? So again, let's just go back. If there are no more questions about it being a review or not, let's focus on the problems, okay? So we're adding two numbers. Firstly, let's write down the correct numbers. The wrong sum of 7328. The question states that this person in the tens digit was supposed to write 4. And if your 4 is in the tens digit, diba, that means that it's 40. So from 40, this person instead wrote 80. So that means that this is 40 more than what it was supposed to be. So we subtract 40 minus 80 to get negative 40 here. But that's not the only mistake that this person makes when adding these two numbers. This person in the hundreds digit was supposed to write 6. If you have 6 in the hundreds digit, that's 600, right? And wrote 2 instead. So that means this person, instead of writing 200, writing 600, wrote 200. So it's missing 400 more in terms of its value. So we write 600 minus 200, that's 400. So from the wrong answer of 7328, we minus 40 for this mistake here, and then we plus 400 for this mistake here. So we get 7328 plus 360. That gives you 7688. Okay? So, Coach, where did 360 come from? That's from negative 40 plus 400. Okay, so because if you have negative 40, 400, that's just 360. 600 comes from writing 6 correctly. It says here, in another number's 100 digits, this person was supposed to write 6. And if you have 6 in the hundreds digit, that means it's 600. But instead, this person wrote 2. So that means that this person wrote 200 instead. So there is a difference of 400 between the wrong answer of 7,328 and the supposed correct answer. That's why we get plus 400 here. Because instead of 600, this person only wrote 200. So it's missing 400 in value, okay? So do the others still have questions? Okay, I think so. Again, this is a clearer solution for the others who want to do a screenshot. You can also use this. So again, it's the same, 7328, 400 minus 40, that's 360. 7688 is your final answer, okay? I think we can move on to the next problem. So for this problem, now there are 11 matches. Amy and Bruce take matches in order from 6. Hello, one of you is unmuted. Okay, so now there are 11 matches. Amy and Bruce take matches in order from 1 to 2 matches. Who gets the last match will be the winner. If Amy starts first, how many matches does she need to ensure that she will win? So take note, at first glance, the turns look like this. Turn 1, hello, one of you is unmuted. Hillary, you're unmuted. Okay, thank you. So again, you can look at it this way. Turn 1 is Amy, turn 2 is Bruce, up until you get at around turn 7, in which you get a sum of 11 matches. Instead of doing that, we can group together turn 2 and turn 3, turn 4 and turn 5. The reason we do this is so that Amy can adjust how many she takes, regardless of what Bruce is going to choose as well. So that means Bruce is going to end up as the second to the last draw, and Amy is going to be the last one. So for example, let's say the correct answer here is that Amy, the optimal play here, is that you want these people, or you want in every turns that Amy is going to draw, or Bruce and Amy is going to get a sum of 3. So this is 3 here and 3. So when Bruce draws, like let's say for example 1, Amy is going to get 2. Or if Bruce here draws 2 instead, Amy is going to get 1. Amy is going to get 1. So that means this is 3 plus 3, that's 6, plus 3, that's 9. 11 minus 9, that gives you 2. So Amy must draw 2 first, so that the remaining 6 turns, if you plan on making the sum 3, if Amy plans on making the sum equivalent to 3, that means she is going to get the last match. If she starts with 2 matches. Okay? So does anybody have a question? A lot of you guys were able to get 2, which is again the correct answer. The short form is yes, it's just 11 divided by 3. Because again, the optimal play here is that in every conjoined turn, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, you want to aim for 3. So that gives you 9, that gives you 3, remainder 2, and you get the remainder 2 as your answer. Why 11 over 3? Okay, Matthew, this is more logical thinking than an actual formula, because when it comes to this problem, the only number you can actively control is the number 3. Why? Because if let's say you were aiming for draws of 2, so for those that don't understand, this is more like a game. If let's say Amy draws 2 matches, Bruce can draw 1, and then Amy can draw 2 again, or Bruce can draw 2, or Amy can draw 1. So up until the person draws the 11th match, that person will be the winner. Match, sorry, spelled it wrong. So for this problem, the question is just asking how many should Amy get to ensure that she wins no matter what Bruce chooses. So for this game, all you have to do is group together these 3 turns, 6 and 7. Because if you choose to have 3 as your sum, you can control the outcome no matter what, because you can either draw 1 and 2. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. That means, let's say if Bruce draws 1 stick here, Amy can draw 2, which is 1 plus 2 equals 3. If Bruce draws 2, Amy can adjust and only draw 1 stick. So that's another 3. If Bruce draws 1 again, Amy can choose 2, and that gives you another 3. So that's 9 sticks in total. So if Amy takes 2 sticks in the beginning of the game, then Amy will win no matter what Bruce does, as long as Amy makes sure that the sum is going to be plus 3. So if instead Bruce chooses 2 here,
Okay.
Amy can choose 1. So that's just the game. And because in each and every double turn of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can control the sum by 3. So 11 divided by 3, the short form of explaining this is 11 divided by 3 gives you 3 remainder 2. So you only have to look at the remainder. I only explained it in the long version for the others that might not understand, because sometimes you might have a question that has 21 matches, something like that. So you just have to apply the same logic. Okay, so I think mostly everyone understands now. So let's move on to
Teacher,
arithmetic.
teacher,
Oh.
pwede, can we go back to number 5? Kasi po, nawalan po ako ng internet po. Sorry po.
I'm really sorry. I don't think I have the time to like completely go back and explain number 5. Anyway, can you just take a screenshot na lang kasi we're already a bit behind.
Okay na po,
If that-
na-screenshot ko na po.
Okay. For the others, in case like you like miss a problem or two, it's perfectly fine since we can just you guys are going to get like a copy of this. Is it okay if like we go a bit faster since we're already like a bit behind on time? Okay. So find the value of 13 plus 14 plus 15 plus 16 up until you have 28 plus 29 plus 30. So all you have to do here is average times number of terms times number of terms. So to get the average, all you have to do is largest first or last number. So that's 30 plus 13 divided by 2 times the number of terms, which is 30 minus 13 plus 1, which gives you 18. So this is 30 plus 13 times 18. Cancel these two out. So you have 43 times 9. So 43 times 9, that's 9 times 3 is 27 to 36, 387. So for the people that are answering 387 in the chat, very good. You guys got the correct answer. This is the optimal, or at the very least, the fastest solution to get the correct answer. So again, if you want to see like a clearer solution, then again, it's just the average, which is 30 plus 13 over 2, 30 plus 13 over 2. But since 30 plus 13 is an odd number, I suggest not to divide it already. Is it okay to do the manual way? If you want to do the manual way, you can, but that's going to take like a lot of time. So we'd rather you know how to do it like the fast way so that you have more time to review your answers. So this is again what we call the average. The average is just the sum of the last number plus the first number divided by 2. So you have 30 plus 13 over 2. And then the number of terms. So how many numbers are there from 13 to 30? The fast, you can manually count them so you can get 18. But the also fast way is just the last number minus the first number plus 1. So that's 18. So you have 18 numbers from 13 to 30. So 43 times 18 divided by 2. And 18 divided by 2 is 9. So 43 times 9 is 387. So does anyone still have questions for this problem?
No?
Okay. I don't think anybody has messaged me as well. Okay, so Nicholas, do you understand how to solve it now?
Yes.
Very good. So find the value of 11,111 times 11,111. So for the people that know this pattern, this is very easy. Okay, sorry. Yes, you can multiply them traditionally, like do 11 and then multiply them together. But that's going to take a lot of time. For 1 times 1, there is a pattern for numbers like this. 1 times 1 is 1. 11 times 11 is 121. 111 times 111 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So notice this pattern lang, okay? It's just the number of digits. It's just the number of digits. So if you have 5 ones, 11,111, that means that the answer is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that is just the pattern for multiplying 111 squared. You just count how many numbers there are within the digits. Guys, please unmute yourself. Please make sure you're muted so that we don't distract or disturb other members of our class. So again, the pattern is just the number of digits. So if you have 5 digits, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we start counting down again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? So for this number, you don't actually have to do the multiplication. So again, this is the pattern. 1 times 1 equals 1. 11 times 11 is 121. Up until you get 11,111 squared, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think most of you guys got this answer already. Plus, as long as you guys know the pattern, it's also not that confusing. I think we can move on. Find the value of 50 times 209 plus 209 times 30 plus 209 times 20. So for this number, there is this thing that we call factoring. So when you have one term plus 209 times 30 plus 209 times 20, for the people answering 20,900, yes, that is the correct answer. Very good. So for this is what we call one term, okay? Terms are divided by plus and minus signs, and if they are divided and multiplied, they are still one term. So 50 times 209 is one term. Please, Laynam, please don't write on the board. Okay, thank you. So with this, you can factor out 209 since all of them share this as a multiplier. So you have 209 times 50 plus 30 plus 20. So you have 100, 209. And when we're multiplying 209 or when we're multiplying by hundreds, all we have to do is copy the number of zeros. I guess that's 209, 0, 0. So 20,900. You don't have to write like commas, okay? So the final answer is just 20,900. Does anybody have a question?
No.
I
No,
heard
sir.
Okay. If you guys are shy in like asking a question, you can just like chat it, message it's a chat, okay? So for a clear solution, again, since all three terms share 209 as a multiplier, you can just factor out 209. 50 plus 30 plus 20 is 100. 209 times 100 is 20,900. Find the value of 2,400 divided by 8, 3,200 divided by 4, and 4,000 divided by 10. So through observation, we can already assume, we can already mentally do this because most of these are just zeros. So you can just do 300 plus 800 plus 400. Okay. So it's not really that hard. Again, because we know that these are mostly zeros, you can just copy. You can just do 24 divided by 8. That gives you 3. Copy the 2 zeros. So you have 300. 3,200 divided by 4. That's 800. 4,000 divided by 10. That's 400. So you have a final answer of 1,500 after you add all three digits together. All three terms together. Sorry. So find the value of 192 divided by 8, 192 divided by 16, and 192 divided by 32. Okay, so yes, you can divide them traditionally, like 192 divided by 8 is going to give you 24. Divided by 8, that's 2, 16. So yeah, it's 24. It gives you 24. And then you can do 192 divided by 16 traditionally. But notice that 192 divided by 8 plus 192 divided by 16, this is just 8. 8. So that means this sum here is just half of this term, or it's just 1/2 of 192 over 8 plus 192 over 8. And the next term is just 1/4 over 192 over 8. So if you know that 192 over 8 is 24, then that's 24 plus 1/2 over 24 plus 1/4 of 24. That gives you 24 plus 12 plus 6. That gives you 42. So again, you can just traditionally divide them because they are essentially like small numbers anyway. Like it doesn't really matter which solution you use. But through observation, we can also use this one so that we don't have to divide anymore and we can save a lot more time. Okay? So that's 24 divided by 24 plus 12 plus 6. The correct answer is 42. For the others that got it right, very good. For the others that didn't get it right, do you have any questions? Someone is like playing TikTok on their background. Like, Hillary, can I? Thank you. I think we can move on to the next problem. So again, the final answer is 42. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Nguyen Fu. Do you have a question? Oh, sorry. Okay, so find the value of, oh, it wasn't separate. Find the value of 143 plus 123 plus 998 plus 247 plus 757 plus 2 plus 753 plus 877. So, yes, you can add these numbers all together as they appear from left to right, but we suggest you apply a method that we call the grouping or pairing method, okay? In which you try to group together two numbers that whose units digit form a zero. So for example, we pair 143 with 757 because it gives us 3 plus 7 is 900. And then we pair 123 with 887 and that gives us again 1998 plus 2 that gives us 1247 plus 753 also gives us 1000 as our final answer. I think that you can, in terms of the pairing method, you might exchange these two, and that's perfectly fine if you do 757 plus 123, and then 143 plus 887. Okay. 143 plus 887, 01. That's it. Why is it? There's something wrong with that numbers. Yeah, it's 900, 123, 887. Is the given correct? Oh, that's why it's 877. The person who made this PPT wrote 887 instead. That's why I kept getting an extra 10. Sorry. So that's supposed to be 877. And yes, if you exchange these two, like you were adding 757 and 123, 143 and 877, you're still likely to get the correct answer anyway. It's still a bit less confusing than if you were adding them from left to right. So again, this is supposed to be 877. Really sorry. That's why I was also confused. So 143 plus 877, that gives you 0. And then 757, 123, which is, and 120 plus 980 is still 880, is still 1900. So it doesn't really change the sum. And it's still a bit easier than if you were adding them from left to right, okay? So I think we can move on to number theory. If a 9-digit number, 2018-0513A, is divisible by 16, find the value of A. So the first step here, remember the divisibility rule of 16. If TH is even, then 13A must be divisible by 16. If TH is odd, then 13A must be divisible by 8. So, since the thousands digit is 5, 138, 13A must be divisible by has to be divisible by 8, A can only be 6. Because 1, 3, let's double check now because other people answered 2. Is 132 divisible by 8? I don't think so. I don't think so. So 8, this is 1, this is 8, so 52. This is 6, so that's 16, remainder 4. So you cannot use 132. It is not divisible by 8. So again, the correct answer only is 6. It is not 6 or 2. Because for us to get the divisibility rule of 16, we first have to look at the thousands digit. If the thousands digit is odd, then the last 3 digits must be divisible by 8. So 13A is 13A can only be divisible by 8 if A is equal to 6. So A is 6. Okay? Find the unit digit of please don't annotate on the board. Find the unit digit of A if 4 to the 25 times 6 to the 12. So here, there are only 2 patterns. The pattern for 4 is just 4 and 6. While the pattern for 6, pattern for 4, and the pattern for 6 is just 6. So this means if you have 4 to the 1, it's 4. If you have 4 to the 2, then it's 6. Since this is 25, this is an odd number. That means this ends in 4. And 6, no matter what number it is, will always end in 6. So 4 times 6 equals 24. The last digit is going to be 4. So does anybody, this is a very common problem for HKIMO. So you have to know what is 425 and 612. That is not 425, that is 4 to the 25. That is what we call an exponent, and this is your base. So that means this is 4 times 4 times 4 up until it's like 25 of them, up until you multiplied 4 25 times of itself. Okay? So when you multiply 4 by itself, it's just going to be 4 and then 16 and then 64. Guys, please stop spamming the chat because your classmates might have questions and then I might not be able to see them because you guys are spamming the chat. Again, the correct answer is 4. You don't have to like constantly chat it again and again. So 64, and then if you multiply this again by 4, you're still going to get 256, which ends in a 6. So that means if you have 4 to the 25, since this is an odd number, you are going to have a unit digit of 4. So for 6, no matter what number you're multiplying it with, it's going to end with 6. So 4 times 6 is going to be equal to 24. And since we're only looking for the unit digit or your ones digit, some people, some schools might call it your ones digit or unit digit. That is the same. Since we're only concerned for the unit digit, then the answer is 4, okay? So let's look at a clearer solution now for everyone. Pattern is, again, the pattern for 4 is 4, 6. For odd numbers, it's 4. For even numbers, it's 6. For 6, it will always be 6 no matter how many times we multiply it by itself. Since 25 is an odd number, then 4 to the 25 is only 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Since we're only concerned for the unit digit, the final answer is simply 4. Does anyone still have questions for this problem?
Teacher,
Okay. Do you have a
can we
question?
go back to 13 kasi I forgot to screenshot po.
Okay. Very quickly lang, okay? Kasi
Apo.
we're already a bit behind.
Yes, okay po. Okay, okay na po. Thank you.
So, how many, Hillary, can you mute yourself? Thank you. How many factors does 100 have? So, okay, the answer is 9. Very good. All we have to do here is prime factorization. 100. This is 10. This is 25 times 4, which is 5 times 5 times 2 times 2. Essentially, that's 2 squared times 5 squared. So when we're asking for the number of factors, okay? Number of factors and not the sum, we're counting how many factors there are. What we do here is we copy the exponents, 2, and then we add +1 to them. And then we multiply them again, 2 plus 1. So that's 3 times 3. That gives you a final answer of 9, okay? So this is the only answer. So you have 9. Again, very quickly, the first step is prime factorization. 100 is 25 times 4 times 4. You have 5 squared times 2 squared. So this is your prime factors. And you copy the exponent of each individual prime factor. So you have 2 and 2. Then you add 1. So you have 3 squared. So the final answer is simply 9. Okay? I think we can move on to number 16 already. So for others who want to take a screenshot, this is the clear solution for number 15. Okay, so let's move on to number 16. Liam, you can't see. Can anybody else see the presentation? Or
Yes.
okay. Thank you. Liam, I think the issue is on your end. Maybe try leaving the Zoom call and then coming back. Okay, and then if it still doesn't work, tell me so that I can just close my presentation instead. Because I think the majority can see my presentation. Okay, Liam, just come back. Okay, so I think we can continue with number 16. So find the sum of positive numbers A and B. The sum of positive numbers A and B is 280. A is 3 times of B. Find the value of A. So again, this is what we call two equations, two unknowns. So the first equation is A plus B is equal to 280. The second equation is that A is equal to 3 times of B. So we just substitute this value. Since we're looking for A, what we can do here is A over 3 is equal to B. So A
Just raise
plus
your hand.
A over 3.
What's my name?
Hello? Sorry, one of you guys is unmuted. Can you please mute? Thank you. So we transpose these values. So we have A over 3 equals B. And then we use that value of B and put it in this equation, okay? So A plus A over 3 is equal to 280. And A plus A 1/3, 1 plus 1/3, that's 4/3. A is equal to 280. And A is equal to 280 times 3/4. So that is equal to 210. Linam can please stop writing on the board. Okay. Thank you. So again, this is the quick solution on how to try and solve this. So let's look at a clear solution now. So again, the first equation is simply A plus B equals 280. A is equal to 3B is our second equation given by the problem. We equate this as A is less than 3 equals B. Since we're only looking for the value of A, we substitute this B into here. That gives you A plus A over 3 equals 280. And A plus A over 3 is equal to 1 plus 1/3, which is 4/3. Hence, this becomes 4A over 3. This part here. So 280 times 3/4, because if we multiply both sides by 3/4, then 4/3 gets canceled out. So you have 280 times 3/4 is going to be equal to A. A is equal to 210. Your B, in case some of you guys are curious, is going to be 70. So 210 plus 70 is 280. Okay? So I think we can move on to number 17. So find the highest common factor of HCF. Find the highest common factor or HCF of 16, 18, and 24. The highest common factor can be renamed as greatest common divisor because some other schools still use GCD and not HCF. So again, it's either GCD or HCF. So for this one, all you have to do, notice that the prime factorization of 16 is 2. This is essentially 2 to the 4. 18, greatest common factor. That is the same as HCF because highest and greatest, is essentially are synonymous. So that's the same. These are all the same words. It doesn't really matter. So you have 24, 18's prime factors are 2 times 3 squared. And then 24 is 2 squared, 2 cubed times 3. The only prime factor that they have in common, that all three of them share in common, is 2. So their greatest common factor or their greatest common divisor is going to be 2. So again, for everyone that answered 2, that is the correct answer. Very good. For anybody who is still confused about this, let's just explain it very quickly just again. The first step is just to write down all three numbers' prime factors. So the prime factors of 16 is 2 to the 4. The prime factors of 18 is 2 times 3 squared. And the prime factors of 24 is 2 cubed times 3. Since the only factor that they share is 1, 2, that means that the final answer is 2. You cannot write down 4, even though you have 2 times 2 here and 2 times 2 here, because 18 is not factorable by 4. You don't have another 2 here. And it's the same. You cannot write down 3 because 16 doesn't have 3. So the only thing we write down are numbers that all three of them share in common, and that is 1, 2. So a singular number 2. So that is going to be our answer, okay? So for number 18, the last problem for number theory, and after this, we will be taking our 10-minute break. Find the least common multiple of 6, 9, and 12. So for this problem, it's sort of similar to the last one. They go hand in hand, LCM and GCF. Through observation, correct, the answer is just 36. Like we can easily observe that the answer is 36 because the least common divisor of least common multiple of 6 and 9 is 18, but that does not work for 24. And for 6 and 12 is just 12. So what we do here is 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 2, 3 times 2 times 3 times 2 is 36. How do we get that? How do we get those numbers? Is simply 6, 9, and 12.
That the answer.
Hello? We do 3. That's 2, 3, and 4. Oh, no. So through observation, again, we know that the answer is simply 36 for this. Since you have, if you write them down, you have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and 36 for 6. For 9, you have 9, 18, 27, and 36. For 12, 24, and 36. So these are your only possible answers, okay? So I think we can take our 10-minute break now. Please come back around 12:19, okay? Oh, it's 12:19 right now. Sorry, I meant 12:29. Sorry. Thank you for the correction.
Do I off my camera?
Yes, you can turn off your cameras if you want to.
Teacher, can you give me the answer of the number one? Coach Ben,
Wait.
me? Number one is then 37 and 95. Thank you, teacher.
Hello guys. Since it's been 10 minutes already, I think we can
I
start.
keep chatting random things po.
Okay na po.
Guys, please stop flooding the chat. But anyway, it was break time. It probably wasn't important.
Chair, may I go to the bathroom?
Yeah, if you guys want to go to the bathroom, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to ask. So since it's already 12:29, I think majority of you are already back. Let me see that. Yeah, I think most of you are already back. I think we can start. Sorry for the other students. I didn't take into account the different time zones. I just hope that you guys like timed yourself for like 10 minutes for a 10-minute break. Anyway, it's like been 11 minutes already. So I think we can continue. Anyway, you guys will be getting by the way, for the others that were not able to take the final mock exam, you're supposed to reschedule with Motley. You're supposed to call with Motley, I think, and then ask for a reschedule if you want to be scored for that, okay? So let's continue. How many rectangles is or are there in the figure below? Wait. So all we have to do here, so okay, a lot of people are answering 27, some are answering 24. The only thing you have to do here is this one. You add the number of triangles here, and then rectangles, I mean, and then you add the number of rectangles here, and then you subtract where they start overlapping. So majority of you are answering 27, and then you subtract where they overlap here with a combination 2 formula, okay? So this is the first box that I shaded is a 2x3 box. So the formula to get the number of rectangles in a 2x3 square is 2 times 3 and 3 times 4 over 4. So if this is n times m boxes, this is an n times m box, then the size or the formula to get the number of rectangles is just n. Hello? Jason, I'm gonna mute you, Jason, okay? Please stop writing as well on the board. So again, to get the formula to get the number of rectangles, if you have an n by m rectangle, then or an n by m box, all you have to do is n times n plus 1 times m plus 1.
What is
We
that?
have what? So when we say n by m, this is 2x3 rectangles. So this is the first rectangle I encircled, diba? Or I boxed. 2x3. And then you add the red one. So that's a 2x3 rectangle as well. So that's plus 2 times 3 times 3 times 4 plus 4. But we are counting these 4 boxes twice, right? So we have to subtract them. So we can do minus 2 by 3, 2 by 3 since it's a 2 by 2 box over 4. So we can cancel out 4 here, cancel out 4 here. Do you still include the 2 by 1 in the 3 by 2? It's not a 2 by 1, Liam. It's a 2 by 2 because the overlap is here. So again, this is your 2 by 3. This is your 2 by 3. And this is a 2 by 2. This is the first box. This is 2 by 3. Okay, let me clear yung drawings sa top. So this is your first one. This is your 2 by 3. These parts here. And this is also another 2 by 3 rectangle. This one here up to here. They start overlapping at these points, these 2 by 2 points, right? So this is your first 2 by 3 rectangle. This is your second 2 by 3, and this is where they overlap. So again, you cancel out the 4s. So you have 2 times 3 times 3 plus 2 times 3 times 3 plus 9 minus 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. So this is 918 plus 18 minus 9. That gives you 36 minus 9, which is 27. So I think a few people still don't understand. So let's just explain it one more time, okay? Please don't write on the board so that where did you get divided by 4? Liam, that's the combination 2 formula, because you have n, the longer version of that, in case you guys are curious. This is just n. What you get is just going to be, you're multiplying both sides by over 2. And that's why you have n times n plus 1, and then it becomes m plus m plus 1. So the formula just becomes n plus 1, m plus m plus 1 over 4. So that's where the 4 comes from, Liam. It's just a longer version, but that is the original formula for trying to look for rectangles within a box or within a regular shape. So the first box, again, very quickly, let's outline them with different colors so it's not confusing. The first box is, again, a 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 box. So this is your n, this is your m. So to get the area, please erase your writing. Thank you. So if this is your n, then your formula is 2 times 3. This is your n. This is your n plus 1. And then you have 3, 4. So this is your m. This is your m plus 1. Over 4. So the second part. So this is the second rectangle. You want to add this. You cannot just add this by itself. Where the 4, 3, and 2 come from? Again, Matthew, listen attentively, okay? So this is a 2 by 3 rectangle, diba? So n and m, this is the n, 1, 2. This is your 3, 1, 2, 3. And the formula is, for this problem specifically, is n times n plus 1, m times m plus 1. That gives you 2 times 3, 3 times 4. Because if your n is 2, n plus 1 is 3. If your m is 3, m plus 1 is 4. So 2 times 3 times 3 times 4. And then over 4 is your formula. The common mistake that people make is looking at this simply as a 1 by 2 rectangle. And that is not correct. The reason for that is because you have you have rectangles like this one or this one, and that's not going to be added in your calculation. That's why, for the others, again, I have told you time and time again, please stop writing on the board because it might be confusing for the others. Okay? So, how did you get m and n plus 1? This is just the formula. If I explain the entire theory, it's going to take like a long time. So, just remember this formula lang. It's like the formula for the area. If the question is how many rectangles are there, and you're given an n by m rectangle, then the formula is just this: n times n plus 1 times m plus m plus 1 over 4. That is just the fastest way to explain it, because if I explain the theory, we're probably going to take like a much longer time. So this is the second rectangle, which is again a 2 by 3. So for the red one, that is still again a 2 by 3 rectangle. So it has the same area, 2, 3, 3, 4 over 4. Notice that they start overlapping at this point. They overlap.
Teacher,
Hello?
teacher, how did you get m plus 1?
again, there is a longer theory behind this that if I start explaining, it's going to be very long. So we can't do that right now. It's like, remember lang this formula. It's like the formula for
teacher,
area. Hello?
I don't understand it
The
kasi
3 and 4.
the 3 and 4.
This is your n by m. When we say n by m rectangle, like how many sides are there? Diba? This is 1, 2, so that's 2. And this is your n. There are 3. So this is your 3. So when we say n plus 1, if your n is 2, your n plus 1 is 3. If your m is 3, your m plus 1 is 4. Okay?
They keep writing picture.
So after that, they start overlapping here. So we have to cancel out that 2 by 2 rectangle in black that I've encircled or that I've overlapped. So follow the same formula. If this is your n, this is your m, then you have 2 times 3, 2 times 3 over 4. So this is plus, plus, and minus because again, we are counting these, we're counting the 2 by 2 rectangle twice. So we're going to subtract it instead. So you have 18 plus 18, and this is 9 minus 9. That's going to give you 27. Okay? Ah. So, okay, last. Hello, please stop writing. Like, so why must we plus 18? Again, because if this is your first rectangle and this is your second rectangle, we're adding their areas together and then we're subtracting this part right here. We're only subtracting the part that overlaps so that we're not counting them twice. So that's why we get 18 plus 18 minus 19 based on the formula a while ago. So let's look at a slightly clearer solution now. So it's not really clear because we can't write in fractions in PowerPoint. To the student that keeps on writing, please stop because if you don't stop, I can like kick you out because a lot of students, other students are already like complaining. And if it's too distracting, if it makes it difficult for them, I have the active interest to stop you or to just kick you out from this class, okay? So please stop. Okay, so let's continue for number 20. The area of a rectangle is 20. The length is 5 times as the width. Find the value of number. So again, the formula here, the area of a rectangle is just length times width. And it tells us that length times width is equal to 20. The second equation is that the length is 5 times as the width. So length is equal to 5 times W. So find the length. So all we have to do is length over 5 is equal to W. This is L, okay? L, L. And then we substitute this value of L to this. So L, length times length over 5 is equal to 20. Multiply by 5. So you have L squared over 5 is equal to 20. L squared is equal to 100. L is equal to 10. And we cannot use negative 10, okay? Because negative 10, because we're talking about lengths and there is no such thing as a negative length. So the only correct answer is 10 and your width is 2. Okay? So again, very quickly for the others, this is again the same. This is a 2 equations, 2 unknowns. The first step when you're faced with a 2 equations, 2 unknowns problem is write down each equation. The first equation is length times width is equal to 20. Based on the first statement, the area of a rectangle is 20. For number 2, the length is 5 times the width. Since we're looking for the length specifically, then we rewrite this as length is equal to 5. L is equal to over 5 or L over 5. So we substitute this value here. Then we get L times L over 5 is equal to 20, or L squared over 5 is equal to 20. We multiply both sides by 5 to get L squared is equal to 100. And the square root of 100 is just 10. So the final answer is 10. Okay, so let's look at a slightly clearer solution. Length times width is equal to 20. Length is equal to 5 width. Width is equal to L over 5. And then L squared over 5 equals 20. L squared equals 100. L equals 10. Okay? Let's look at number 21. Oh, it's not really written. The perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 42. Find the value of the side length. The only keyword here is equilateral triangle. When we say equilateral triangle, that means all 3 sides have the same length. So since we're talking about the perimeter and all three sides have the same length, so the solution is just 42 divided by 3. That gives us 14. I think everybody got the correct answer. This is a very simple problem. The only thing you have... did somebody try to ask a question? So again, when we say equilateral triangle, this assumes that all sides are equal. So if we're looking for the if we're looking for the length of one side, and we're given the perimeter of 42, 42 divided by 3 gets you an answer of 14. So a pyramid has 1,001 vertices. How many edges does this pyramid have? So when we're talking about pyramids, remember that vertices minus 1 is equal to sides, or faces minus 1 is equal to sides, and then sides times 2 is equal to edges. So for the people that answered 2,000, yes, very good, the answer is correct. So following this formula, we first convert vertices to sides. So 1,001 vertices minus 1 is equal to 1,000 sides. And then 1,000 sides, 1,000 sides times 2 is equal to 2,000 edges. Okay, so 1,001 minus 1 equals 1,000. And then 1,000 times 2 equals 2,000. Okay, so I think we can move on to number 23. So how many triangles are there in the figure below? So there are 9. Who wants to draw them out, the 9 triangles in the figure below? Because I think everybody got the answer correct. Fam Din Sam, do you want to draw it out? You can annotate if you want to, like for this problem specifically. Who wants?
Me.
Sorry, I couldn't see who was the one who answered. Kenzo, do you want to answer this problem?
Yes,
Oh.
I want to draw it.
Okay.
Okay. So, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and 9. My answer is 9.
Okay, the correct answer is 9. For the one that asked what this symbol means, it's not really that common, but for this problem specifically, and I don't think it's going to come up in another problem, usually this just means that these are the bounds of the question in which it is included. That means these spaces are still included within the question. So the total shape should look like this. That's why the answer is only 9 and not 10. Because if there was this symbol here, that means that this area is still included, and that would give you your 10th triangle. But because it does not have that symbol, it means simply that that part is not included within the area. So again, very quickly, let's just draw everything out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upright triangles, two downright triangles, that's 5, plus 2, and then 2 larger triangles here, so that's plus 2 again, equals 9. We don't count this one again because it doesn't have this symbol. This symbol just essentially means that these spaces are connected, essentially. So the entire figure should look like this instead. And that's why we count the upside down triangles. And these triangles, but not this triangle because it is not connected here. So that's why we only get an answer of 9 and not 10. And that's why we count these 2 upside down triangles, but not this one. Okay? So again, but anyway, all of you guys got the correct answer of 9 anyway. So I think we can continue since we have less than 20 minutes left. We still have a lot of time. Joke, we still have like 25 minutes left. So, at most, how many lines can be formed by using 15 points on a plane? So this is the combination formula. The combination formula of n, c, r is just equal to n factorial over r factorial times n minus r factorial. So, do you guys know how to use the factorial symbol already?
Yes.
Okay, so some people still don't know how to use the factorial symbol. Okay, so very quickly, when we write down 3 factorial, what we mean is 3 times 2 times 1. If we write down 4 factorial, we mean is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So when we say combination, it is literally any combination of a group or a set based on how many things do we want to arrange it in. So if you have, for example, 15 points, so we write down 15 combination, and then you only need 2 points. Nguyen, please stop. So you only need 2 points to create a line. So you have 15 combination 2. So you have 15 factorial over 2 factorial times 15 minus 13 factorial. 15 minus 2 factorial, sorry. That's 15 factorial. That's 15 factorial over 2 factorial times 13 factorial. And there is a special property. Hello, one of you guys is again unmuted.
Sure, there's a grade 3 po.
Lex, you're unmuted. And Nguyen, again, this exclamation point means the factorial symbol. And when we write down, for example, 3 factorial or 3 exclamation mark, this means 3 times 2 times 1. And if you write down 4 exclamation mark or 4 factorial. This means 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? So here you have 15 factorial from this formula. 15 factorial over 2 factorial over 13 factorial. And if you have, for example, 4 factorial over 3 factorial, that's just 4. Why? Because 2 factorial times 13 factorial. Again, the exclamation mark is the symbol for factorial. Factorial. And factorial is just multiplying up until you get to 1. So if you write down 3 factorial, then it's 3 times 2 times 1. If it's 4 factorial, then it's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So 15 factorial is 15 times 14 times 13 up until you get 1. So yes, 2 factorial, 2 times 13 factorial. So notice that if you have 4 factorial, which is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and you have 3 factorial, which is 3 times 2 times 1, all of these terms get canceled out. So all you're left with is 4. So if you have 15 factorial over 13 factorial, that is just equal to 15 times 14. Because everything from 13 to 13 times 12 times 11 times 10 is going to get canceled out. So your last formula is just going to be 15 times 14 over 2, which is 15 times 7 or 105. So that is going to be your answer, okay? So again, we apply the combination formula when it is asking for 15 or the n objects are to be arranged in a group, in a specific group. So for example, in this question, they are asking for lines and you only need 2 points to make a line, diba? So you now have 15 combination 2. So I think we can move on to the next problem. So I think this is the last topic, combinatorics. It is given that the total weight of 3 apples and 3 melons is 900 grams. The weight of a melon is the same as that of 2 apples. What is the weight of 1 apple? So 3A plus 3W is equal to 900. Divide all of that by 3 to get A plus W. Guys, please stop writing again. A plus W is equal to 300. And we know that the weight of a melon is the same, or the weight of a watermelon is equal to 2 apples. So we can substitute that here. This is still a very common 2 equations, 2 unknowns problem. So 2A plus 2, A plus 2A is equal to 300. When we write down the letter itself, when we write down, for example, A by itself, this has an unseen coefficient of 1, or it is already understood to have a coefficient of 1. 1 plus 2 is 3A, that's equal to 300. A is equal to 100. Oh, wait, sorry. So I think we can move on to the next problem. Let's just look at a slightly clearer solution that for the others who want to take a screenshot. Again, 3 apples plus 3 watermelons equals 900. Divide both sides by 3, you get A plus W equals 300. 1 watermelon is equal to 2 apples. A plus 2A, you substitute this value of W here. or 2a here, and you are going to get 300. 3a is equal to 300. A is equal to 100. If Andy goes from point B to point A, each step can only move down or move left. How many ways is or are there? So starting from point B, so a lot of you guys are answering 21. So here's the solution. So starting from B, every point starting from 0, this is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. So here, sort of yes and sort of not ani now. It's not entirely Pascal's triangle, but it does borrow some sentiments to it. Here, so now you have, that's 1, 1. You can only move down or left. So up until you get here, that's still 1. And you copy this here. So 1 plus 1, that is 2 here. 1 plus 3, 2 plus 3 equals 5. And then from here, you have 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 plus 1 equals 4. And then from here, 1 plus 2 is still equal 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 3 equals 6. 4 plus 6 equals 10. 10 plus 11 is equal. I'm not the meeting owner. I'm just one of the co-hosts. I don't think, because this meeting is divided into like a larger meeting, and I have only given co-host privileges. Like I can mute some people, but I can't really stop people from
Coach.
hello. Does someone want to ask a question? Okay, so I think there are still 4 problems left. Nguyen Tuan Bao. So number 27, we're almost finished. Andy has 27 $1 and $2 coins altogether. He has 35 in total. How many coins, how many $2 coins does he have? So again, 2 equations, 2 unknowns. You guys really need to practice this because this is very common. So let's write down, let's say $1 coins is A, while $2 coins is 2. $2 coins is B. So A plus B is equal to 27, while A plus 2B is equal to 35. The reason why we write down 2B is because that is the value of $2 coins. So that is, if we're looking only for $2 coins, A is equal to 27 minus B. So you substitute this value here. Yes, the chicken and rabbit formula is also another word for this, Lin. A lot of people use this because usually you have like questions like you have 30 chickens and rabbits. How many legs do they have? If they have a total number of legs, but I digress. So substitute that value, 27 minus B plus 2B is equal to 35. And then negative B plus 2B is just B. 27, when it crosses over the equal sign, is going to be 35 minus 27. So B is equal to 8. Does anybody have a question for this number? I think this is one of the simpler ones, so I don't think anyone has a question. So again, your X is 1 peso, $1 coin, while your Y is $2 coins. X is equal to 27 minus Y. Guys, please stop typing profanities in chat. x plus 2y is equal to 35. 27 minus y, by substituting this value of x, that's 27 minus y plus 2y is equal to 35. Negative y plus 2y is equal to y, while 27, if it crosses over the equal sign, that becomes negative 27. So 35 minus 27, that gives you y is equal to 8. So for number 28, okay, the answer is just 9. How many two-digit numbers is or are there such that the number contains how many two-digit such that the number contains digit 0? So we're only looking for numbers that have the digit 0. If we're looking for two-digit numbers, that means that it only can be 10, 20 up until 90, because you cannot have a two-digit number 0, a two-digit number with 0 as its 10th digit, because it will no longer be a two-digit number. For example, you cannot have 07 because that's just 7. So the only numbers that can fit this description are from 1 to 9 as your 10th digit, and then your 1st digit is simply 0. So you have 9 as your answer. Okay, so for the others that got the correct answer 9, that's very good. And again, guys, please stop spamming the comments. So for number 29, this is the second to the last problem. Use digits 1, 2, 3, and 4 to form a 4-digit number such that the 10th digit and 1000th digit are odd while the 100th digit and units digit are even. How many such 4-digit numbers is or are there? Since you can already count your thousands and odd digit as like 1 unit, while your hundreds and units digit as 1 unit, you can use this formula alone. So for example, for the others who are confused about this formula, it's simply, again, choices. For the thousandth digit, without repetition, assuming that we cannot repeat the numbers again and again, we can only use 2 times 2 times 1 times 1. The people that are answering 16, be very careful because this problem assumes that we cannot use the same numbers again and again. So for example, in the thousandth digit, and the problem says that the thousandth digit and the 10th digit are odd. So we only have 2 choices. So if we write down 2 here, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones, that means for the 10th digit, we only have 1 other choice left. And for the 100th digit, you have 2 choices because it has to be even 2 and 4. And then for the ones digit, you are now only left with 1 choice left. So you have 2 times 2 times 1 times 1. Okay? So that gives you a final answer of 4. So this is the last number. Find the largest sum by using all 10 digits from 0 to 9 without repetition to form 2 5-digit numbers. Find the largest sum by using all 10-digit numbers from 0 to 9 without repetition. So people are typing in 183951. When we say sum, that means it doesn't really matter what order. But to get the largest number, all we have to do is add the biggest numbers together in the same place. So you want 9 and 8 to be added together. Then you want 7 and 6 to be added together. 5 and 4 to be added together. 3 and 2, and then 1 and 0. It doesn't matter if you get them jumbled as long as 9 plus 8 is added in the 10,000th digit. So you're still going to get the same answer if you do 87531 and 642. As the only thing that matters is that these 2 digits are added in the 10,000th place. These 2 digits are added in the thousandth place, and so on and so forth. So adding them together, you have 1, 5, 9, and this is 3, and this is 8. So you have 18,000, you have 183, sorry. You have 183,951. So for the others that got it right in the chat, yes, very good. The correct answer is 183,951. I remember that some of you guys have missed answering the mock exam. Please call the Motley subscriber or the Motley number so that you can ask to be rescheduled, and then you can take a different score. You can take a different test so that you can get a score as well. So, does anybody have a question?
No. No.
Coach. Coach.
No. No.
Hello.
Coach.
Yeah.
So if we answered it, we don't have to do anything anymore.
If you answered this,
Apa?
yeah, we're done na for this. We're done na for the final mock exam review.
Is this
And-
like final test?
If you call, there is still the HKIMO finals around this weekend.
Okay,
I
that
think-
is. I was absent for the like few questions. So can you like show the answers from 1 to 19, please?
We're already like, the meeting's supposed to end at 1:15. So I don't think I can go back that far, that many questions.
So just show me the
But-
answer to see if my answers are correct.
Okay, but anyway, you guys are going to get a copy of the video anyway, so you can review there. But okay, let's just go back. For the others, I think we can end here now. For the others, if you want to go home or if you want to leave the meeting, it's already okay. But since Carla wants to, so okay, this is number 19. Just say if you're done. Anina, do you have a question?
Could you please go to the factorial one po? Kasi I want to screenshot it.
Okay, so after, let's just go over 19 to 1. So this is 18. Bye guys. Thank you.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
teacher. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye po.
Bye.
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 Boy.
So this
What,
is
sir?
16. 15. The answer is nine.
message you.
Uh,
Number
Okay.
20.
I'm scared.
Number 20, teacher, please.
number 20. Okay, let's just go back a bit up until we finish.
message you.
So this is
I'm
17. Wait,
I message
wait, I didn't
didn't
really see
see
the
number
message.
teacher. I message
I didn't see number 14. I didn't see number 14.
Guys, can you speak one at a time? I
Okay.
can't really hear any of you. Okay, let's just finish up until Carla sees
Teacher,
up until number 1.
To the mock paper in at Clavia.
What? So you have 10,
I didn't see it.
9.
To the mock paper.
10.
Teacher, do I still have to answer the mock paper in the Clavia?
I don't think you have to answer it now because we've already done the review. If you want to take it, you have to call the Motley number or ask your parents to reschedule with the Motley number, I think. Ask them lang what happens if you haven't
what's
taken
number
the mock
8?
exam.
What's number 8?
Oh, thank
Number
you.
8. So the final answer for number 8 is just this one.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next one. Number 7.
So the final answer for number 7 is 387. For number 6, the answer here is 2.
Oh.
because this is 3, 3, and then this is 3 as well. So 11 minus 9 equals 2.
Okay, then number 5.
So that's 7, 6, 8, 8.
Okay, then number 4. Then 3. And then 2.
And then number 1.
Okay,
Uh,
thank you.
Who wants to go back to
Bye.
Bye. Who wants to go back to number 20? Does someone want to go back to number 20 pa? This is the last, okay guys, because I have a different class pa after this one. So for number 20, because I saw someone asking for, okay, Hillary. Hillary, are you still here? I think the person who asked for number 20 is not here anymore. Malik, do you have a question?
Teacher, I have a question about the number 24.
24, okay. This is the last one now, okay? So because I still have a different class after this, I can't really extend. So okay, for this question,
I don't understand about this.
this is what we call the combination formula.
Yeah.
In
On the
which
plane,
it,
what do you mean? On the plane?
on a plane,
I think he meant the airplane.
what do you mean plane?
Plane surface.
Oh wait, this
I don't
plane, sorry.
understand the question.
Sorry. This isn't plane like an airplane. This is plane like a plane space. So you have 15 dots. You have 15 dots or 15 points. And it's asking for how many lines can you make with 15 dots or 15 points randomly. So this is the question. So for us to do that, this is what we call the combination formula, okay? Where you have n, or the number of objects, and the group that it is arranged to. So you only need 2 points to make a line, right? So the final answer is just 15 combination 2. And the formula for 15 combination 2 is 15 times 14 over 2. So 15 times 14, that's 15 times 7. That's 105. Okay?
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye.
Thank you.
Are you still confused? And I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, but do you understand it now? Or is it still a bit confusing?
What, teacher?
Do you understand it already?
Understand.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, teacher. Bye, teacher.